As a bonus release from July's Joomla User Group London's Zoom Up and a follow-on from Eoin's excellent Build a Joomla Module workshop, Phil ran through some of the capabilities of a third-party Joomla extension called Component Builder. It's just a shallow dive, but we thought it deserved its own video. Let us know what you think in the comments. Links and info will be in the show notes below.
And can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Yep.
This is Joomla Component Builder. You've got to know how to build a component to be able to use it. It is extremely complicated, but brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But the module part is pretty damn good as well. So basically, it's a component builder. It's all on GitHub. It's free to use. You install it on your site, and it compiles the component for you. So it's like one huge WYSIWYG to then guide you through the whole process. And the really nice thing is you can do it in a modular way that you just did your one. So let me go to the back end of a site that's got it on, and I'll pull that across in a second. So here is the component builder. And you can, so if I go into Joomla component I've been recently doing, one, can you see the screen okay?
Yep, you can see it, yeah.
So you've got loads of different parts to it. So you've got admin view, site view, all of that. And at first it's overwhelming. It's taken me a couple of weeks to get my head around it, but now I have. It is amazingly quick to do stuff in it. And so this is your single view. This is your category view. If I want to go into my single view, here it is, and I can fiddle around with how it's going to come out. As you do it, it's all dynamic. So you do all the database joins using it, and as it does it, it knows what you've got. So it produces this quick asset table here that you can just drag in so that you can then output your stuff. You've got.
Want to tell people what a database join is?
Yeah, sure. In fact, I've got a bit of code to show on that. But so if I go to so then you get your dynamic gets, which is basically how you're going to get to the pages. There's the admin views. So you actually start off by building fields, very similar to what you were going on about earlier. So these are the basic fields, and you can add a new field. So I'm going to add a new field. And it gives you, so let me select a type. So what did you use? You used checkbox.
I used text, and I used the list field.
Okay.
And I use a subform. You
did subform, yeah, subform's great. So there you go, subform. And if I pick a subform, it gives me all the different bits that you can have in a subform. And so basically it's generally set up. You just change your name to what you want. You hit your, you change the label. You can decide where you were talking about how many times you can repeat it. There you go, 50. Your minimum, you can set it if you want to. You can delete any of these that you don't want and add extras. And so you can build it up like this. And then basically when you've done it all, I'll just show you, you go to the compiler when you've made your changes. You select what it is you want to compile. You hit compile.
It actually produces it for you.
And if you click on that, it will install it onto the site you're doing. And it tells you basically total is 50 folders created so far, 125 files. Fields, it will take 34 hours or 8, blah, blah, blah. So it gives you all the stats that it would normally take. It's a big learning curve, but once you got it under your belt, it's amazing. And he does.
Would you say it saves you quite a lot of time?
Well, this is the amazing thing. So he's working on 4 at the moment. So just think about it. You set it all up in this, your component, your Joomla 3 component. Suddenly you've got to do a Joomla 4 one. You basically compile it for Joomla 4. That's the hope. But he's changing the code base all the time. He uses his compiler to compile his compiler. And Llewellyn's just joined as the deputy on the assistant lead on the production team. And I've just been blown away about it. I came across it a long time ago, thought, no, this is too complicated. Basically wrote loads of components by hand, been doing that for years. Now I want to write them all with this because it's doing it in a very systematic, very correct way.
It's almost exactly the same process as you'd follow, but just a bit easier.
Yeah. And just allows you to spend your time doing the crafting rather than the template building effectively.
Yeah.
So no, really impressed.
What I would say is I had to play around with this as well. And if you don't know how to build a custom component yourself, you probably don't know how to use this tool.
No, I agree totally. So it's but with that knowledge going back, the code that it produces is really good. So you can fiddle around, do something, small result, go and look at your code in PHP Storm, or whatever.
What happens if you update your code in PHP Storm? Does it then save over it and cause you a problem?
Well, there's lots of places you can input it. So that's exactly what I've been doing. So, for example, in the gets, I've been adding some bits in.
Do you want to tell people why their views are there, materials, and so on?
Yeah, so materials is the category view where you're bringing multiple things, and then when you click on that link to go to the single thing, I'll show you the front end quickly. I'm still building it out. So here is where we're doing database. So you can select what you want. You can tweak it. So I only want to bring in all the ones that are published, and you can do joins. So here's the joins. So I want to do a single join where I'm joining onto the category. So I'm bringing back the category title. If I wanted to add another one, then I could say I'm doing, and I can join onto whatever I want. So countries.
That's handy. It's got the columns there.
Yeah, and basically you can select it onto, you've got the different types of join. And then
if you click in the on field, does it allow you to? Do you have to type that in manually, is it? Yeah. Okay.
Yes. No. You put your name as you want, and you have to put that in as you need, and then basically, if it's true, if it works, it will pull in. So if I do the same here.
So a join is basically looking in a different database table, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And you just then compile it. It's just absolutely amazing. So you've got places for custom scripts. So here you go, a simple custom script. This bit then gets added to other bits all in your single view file or your method file. So this is the method. This is going to be in this is a method, so it will be in my model. And you've got the various places that you can open. So before getting the item, after getting the item, it's a bit too much to go into all that now, but it is quite impressive how it works. And if I go back to the dashboard, then you can do Joomla modules. And if I do a new one, here we've got the HTML where we can give it its name. We can give the main default template code. He's got lots of snippets all over. So there's the adding the language string so you can surround everything. There's lots of predefined alerts and stuff that's just basically hit it. He does UIKit 2 and 3. He does basically these are all the libraries. So you can pull in these libraries for your module. You've got code. That's the main module code. Helper class, so you can just add your helper, and it can be a class or it can be an abstract. You might want to do an abstract. Forms and fields, exactly what you're talking about. And here you can just configure them, set what they are.
I see. So it's got the field set name there as well. So you can make another one as well. So with different field set, I suppose, then, right?
Now, the thing is that it's always designed to be joined to the component you're making. But if you want a separate standalone module,
No, but I mean, in my one, I created 2 field set names, right? I did the basic one and I did another one, which was in a different tab.
Yeah, there's your field set name, basic, and you could do advanced.
But if you want to do the second one, can you do that?
Advanced.
I see. So it's still in, even though the file name's config, it doesn't do a separate, well, does it matter if you do a separate one? I'm not sure, but, or does it put it within the same tags?
It will put all in the same. So these will all be your fields.
They'll all be within the one config tag. It won't do 2 config tags. It probably doesn't matter if it does, but
probably no, because it will be. It works. Let's put it that way. So
No more questions.
then you've got your script files, pre-flight, post-flight, all of that, which is great. Your MySQL, so you can add MySQL on install and uninstall. README file, which is something to add. Update servers, sales server.
Here's a question, Phil. On I've used the other component creator online, componentcreator.net or whatever it is.
As well, yeah.
And that is something that you could use if you have never built a component before. That is something that you could understand and use straight away.
Yeah,
and there's a free version of that. But on that one, the problem is if you want to reinstall a component, you have to uninstall it and reinstall it. In this one, do you have to do the same thing?
Not at all, no. I just constantly compile and reinstall, compile and reinstall.
Yeah, okay.
You just hit the button. You have to reinstall it. It does it for you.
Yeah, but so what happens if you delete a table, rename a table?
You can clear the cache effectively, and it will basically.
You can.
I mean, a major change I did uninstall and just reinstall, but it's also got version control, so you can actually roll back to a version of what you were building.
See it on screen right now, yeah. Okay, very cool.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, I've been. No. This is the version number, but there's a version control in the component builder.
Oh.
So you can go back versions, and again we've got site and admin, so you just change to an admin module, and he's updating the code standard. So if there's a deprecated method, then he will do that. Then when you compile, you'll be using the correct methods.
So does it create your language strings?
I haven't got that far yet. I've only been using it 2 weeks.
Not just throw a spanner in there by accident.
What's amazing about it is that he's crafted some of those forms really nicely using the standard Joomla stuff, which I think when you try and create repeatable fields and that kind of thing, they come out so ugly, but he's made them look quite nice.
Oh, I think probably Gary's seen me doing subform within subform within subform,
well,
and then it does.
I think your idea of a subform needs to be kind of revised a little bit, but that's another conversation.
So here is the component that we just added. This is, I haven't put an image for that, but this is my backend dashboard, material and materials. These are all my material categories, so you can build up your categories and do all of that. If I go to materials, these are all the materials. This is the form that I've built up for the back end. This is my repeatable fields. All this literally out of the box. You've got the select, you've got the alias, you've got search engine friendly URLs. You've got all of this. I haven't done all of that. His system's done it. Version control, filtering, all the.
So this is the actual component now that you've made that we're seeing.
Yeah. Well, I just hit the compile and it hit install. So this is it.
Oh, you just literally did that, right? Cool.
I've been building this over the last week or so. Version control, all of that comes out of the box. Ordering, filtering, added filtering.
So what is this? What does it actually do? What does it actually do?
This is for, I'm building this up for AO, so you can put in data points for prices of materials. So these are the dates, these are the materials. If you do make mistakes, you can move it all around, add and subtract them. And then the idea is that on the front end, and I've not finished this yet, so I've not put images in yet, but we've got the single view, and the single view then goes to a graph to show you a graph of the material.
Cool.
So eventually this will be a link to Wikipedia talking about the material. There will be a picture for all of them. I haven't sourced the pictures. I'll probably put a default one in there. There's the category that it is. There will be a description for the price, and then there will be the price. But seriously, impressed. And as I say, it's so easy to, if the client then says, oh, I actually want X, Y, or Z, you've just got to put that one bit in, hit it, and it compiles it and puts those bits into the XML, into that file for you.
And then how about calling it in the front end? How do you position things and whatever? Or style them or whatever it is?
You build style sheets.
But I mean, how do I say I want to put it in a H2 or something like that?
Oh, you literally write it like that. So let me go back to it. So component builder.
Sorry, guys, we may have started boring the viewers at this point.
So here we go. It's a site view.
Yeah.
And it's a material because you wanted a singular one.
Uh-huh.
And there's my method. And that's where I'm getting all the bits back, the data. And then if I want to go to, I've got to remember myself now. If I want to go to the view to.
So just explain to the other guys. I don't know how much you guys do or don't know, so don't mean to patronise you, but you've got
Oh, here we go.
The reason Phil has got materials and material is almost exactly the same as having a blog items menu, which has got all the blogs, and then an individual blog, so an individual article.
And I can put my views that I want in here. So there's my category, my blog view, as it were. That's my material, my single. And I can say I want to add it to the menu. It has metadata, which is the default view. Add access. Oh, access control. That all comes out of the box as well. All of that is just brilliant. And
looks really impressive.
Yeah, very impressive.
It's
the damage.
It's free.
You're having me on.
Like 8 weeks of your life, basically, is the damage, Gary.
Yeah, there is a learning curve, but it is free. Layouts I haven't even got onto because I haven't made a separate layout or template. So all of that is without doing those. And I've totally forgotten where I put the CSS.
Well, it's not so much CSS because that's kind of
no, not the CSS. The oh, hang on.
An incredible thing.
Yeah, but
oh, here we go. There you go. So this is my. So I've got an H1 there, which is actually.
Echo item name is something you've grabbed from the right-hand side, is it?
Yeah, you just grab it all from here. So
these are just fields that you've added, are they?
No, it dynamically works out what I got from the database. So is it a get item or is it a get list? And as I change it, it will actually, and if I save and reload, it will change what I got there. Absolutely amazing. So there you go. It's changed what I can get if it's a list or if it's an item.
Very impressive.
And I just basically copy that code out.
Give me that mind blown emoji. Put that in the chat.
Shame that doesn't. You can't just click on it and it adds it to the end or something. That would be cool.
Yeah. And then you've got your language string bit to wrap around them, and yeah, you're done.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm seriously impressed.
So that JText text, that's how do we know? How do we do different strings?
You put them inside there.
Oh, you just change the string name.
Yeah, you wrap it around the. If you've got a specific word.
So you've got category there. So there's an example one.
Yeah, category.
And prices as well. Yeah. And so then that's automatically creating a string, a translatable string with the word category in it?
So that I can then use it in the language.
Okay. So this is a way of doing it without creating the ini file then?
No, this is...
Oh, it creates the ini file for you.
No, this is translation. So this is... this puts it... My brain's gone dead.
Probably puts it in an ini file somewhere, I suppose.
But yeah, no, just seriously impressed with how it's... what it can do.
Amazing. It looks amazing. It looks powerful but confusing. I have used it before, so I know it's powerful but confusing. But once I would advise if anyone's going to do something like this, do the tutorial on the Joomla docs on build your own component. And
there's actually a really good tutorial. He's put a lot into loads and loads on YouTube. But there's also another chap who's literally just started it, and he's done a really good one. And there's 5. Basically, it's 3 hours worth, and he will talk you all the way through doing a slightly more complex component than I've just built, and with form fields and everything. Really impressive.
Very, very good.
Very nice file as well.
If you can find that,
if I ever get 5 years to learn it, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
If you can find the videos, Phil, and when we send out our follow-up email from this meeting, we'll include them in it.
Okay, that's it from July's Juggle Zoom Up. We really appreciate you watching. If you think these recordings from our monthly Zoom Ups are useful, let us know in the comments. And clicking the subscribe will make it easier for you to find us for new releases.